loves me, okay? Ethan loves me and he wants me. And she's like, okay. I think that's a one-sided relationship. And I was like, I never initiated contact because I didn't like y'all. And that's period, which I kind of remember like her asking that, which it's not really your business. Anyways, what are you talking about, you Slim Jim mosquito? We're forever. Please shut up. You sound really stupid right now, which in hindsight, I did. Not so close. She didn't need to sit that close to my boyfriend. And so I like spotted him coming out of computer and I was like, oh my gosh, he is fine. Hey mi amor, welcome back to my channel. It's Sanaa here and we're back with another video. Hey guys, so today we are going to be doing a story time on the time that this girl, or at least I thought this girl, tried to steal my man. So let's get right into it. So first I want to go over the names, because if y'all know something about me, y'all know that whenever I'm doing a story time, I always say the people's real name. Leonardo, and this is ex and boy best friend, and she's like, Sanaa. Oh my gosh, did I just say her name? Diamond's like, which is probably gonna get me in trouble one of these days, but I always like cut off the mouth and mute it, whatever, you know. I actually don't know why I'm not supposed to say their names. I just know other YouTubers do it in their story times, so I'm gonna do that. But I have the names right here, and I just almost showed you the paper. This is off to a terrible start. Okay, so I have the names right here. I have their real name and then I have the fake name, so we don't have any mishaps and I don't get sued or something. I'm just kidding. So the characters, or the people that I'm going to be talking about today, is Ethan, that's the boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. Samantha, that's the person who tried to steal my boyfriend. Raylan is my friend, me. I'm Sanaa, I'm gonna keep my regular name. Bailey is the girl who tried to steal my man's friend. Man's funny. Anyways, Bailey is Samantha's friend, and Celia has a small role. Like, she's not even in this, but she kept trying to, like, someone just said I'm perfect. Oh, sorry, she said I'm pretty. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, anyways, and Celia, she's Bailey and Samantha's friend. She's not really in the story a lot, but she made her presence known. And then back then I was like, literally, why are you here? This has nothing to do with you. But anyway, let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's just get right into the story. So we have me. It's like, I want to say second quarter. Don't quote me on that. Why would you quote me on that? I don't know, maybe the story's kind of juicy and you're sharing with your friends. That'd be very appreciated. But yeah, I think it's like second quarter, and so it's 4 quarters that makes up 1 year. And in first quarter I had gym and Ethan had something. I didn't even know him in first quarter. What am I even talking about? He had a computer. Yeah, he had a computer. And so I like spotted him coming out of computer and I was like, oh my gosh, he is fine. He is fine. No reason at all. Super duper fine. So I was like, wow, he's really cute. When did he get here? Cause it's like October, November. And I'm like, wow, is he new? And I see that he's in my best friend's class. My best friend, y'all don't really need to know her name, and I don't really need to give her a fake name because she's not in the story. But he was in my best friend's class, and I'm like, yo, bestie, who is that? And she's like, that's Ethan. And I'm like, okay, give me more. And she's like, he's literally been here since the first day of school. And I'm like, what? And so I don't even know how. I don't remember. One thing led to another, blah, blah, blah. Me and Ethan are dating. So we get to second quarter. I don't have gym anymore. Now I have computer. And Ethan, Samantha, and Bailey all have gym together. So that's fun. And Raylan, I'm not actually sure if she had gym with them and that like she kept an eye on them or whatever, or if she just had some random connections. That's what they're called, like specials. What's it called? I mean, what did she have? Okay, I don't know what connections she had, but I know she didn't have it with me. She might have had it with them, but it really doesn't matter because it's not pertinent to the story. I don't remember her ever being like, ooh, Sanaa, they were getting a little touchy in gym. So I look kind of really pretty today. Anyways, so me watching this back and being like, cut that out. Anyways, this is getting awkward now. So let's just get back to the story. So they all have connections together, and that's when they start talking. Like, this is when they first initially meet, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. And I really don't care because, like, okay, Ethan, you can have friends. I don't care. Okay, so first, this is the first instance we ever had like crossing paths. I text her and I don't even know how I got her number, but I'm like, hey, this is Sanaa. And she was like, hi. And I was like, so I heard you like my boyfriend. And she's like, what? And I was like, and she was like, I don't like your boyfriend. You were just too scared to go talk to him. And there was a month, guys. I'm getting like first-hand embarrassment, actually. Or is it second? I don't know, but I'm getting embarrassed, okay? For someone. That someone is me. And there was a month. There was literally a month. I remember like counting the days, but we didn't talk for a month. Like, we didn't hug, we didn't talk, we didn't say a word to each other in person, but we texted all the time and talked on the phone. But when we got in person, we never spoke to each other. We would literally just walk right past each other. Until one day, I had a cute moment and I slammed my books down on the ground and I just gave him a hug. So romantic. I said I wasn't scared to talk to him. You were literally all up on him and that's why I can't talk to him. He's my boyfriend, not yours. And she's like, I never said he was my boyfriend. Like, calm down. And I'm like, no, because I literally could have talked to my boyfriend and you're doing the most and you want him. Just say it, baby. Just admit it. Okay, I didn't say that, but like I'm going off of what I read. And I was like, I'm not doing the most, you're doing the most, because apparently Samantha told Bailey that I needed to mind my business, and apparently it was because I said that she needed to sit not so close. She didn't need to sit that close to my boyfriend. You know, this is really weird. Why did I never like attack from this? I'm embarrassed for myself. Don't do that, ladies. Attack both of them, okay? Beat them both up. Moving on. Water fountain, Ethan's classroom, Bailey and Samantha's classroom. And this is their third period, by the way. And then my third period is all the way down over here, okay? So my third period is the camera at this point. And so when I would be coming from lunch, see, they went outside every single day after lunch. So when they would come back, they would get water and they would they would look into Ethan's classroom. I was like, yo, that's kind of weird. Why are you guys just sitting outside his classroom? Because like I said, they're in gym together. So the girls always go out first because gentlemen or whatever. So the girls go out first and then the guys walk out. So they would always like hide behind the wall and wait for, I have issues, bro. They would always wait for Ethan to walk out, and I just found that weird. Meanwhile, how do I even know this child? I think Raylan had art. I remember she had art. So she would tell me, she was like, Yeah, they're waiting for your boyfriend. That's kind of weird, but that's not my business. Honestly, I don't even know how much of this stuff would have happened if I didn't have Raylan and my other friend fueling me on and telling me everything that's going on. Because my other friend, she's not even really in the story either. She was in Bailey and Samantha's third period with them, so she would always be like, yeah, all they do is just wait outside for him, and they're always at the water fountain. And she did a lot later on, so I should probably insert her into the story. I'm gonna do that. So I have another friend, we just inserted her in the story. Her name is Donna. Anyways, we'll get into Donna later. So she's telling me, she's like, yeah, they're waiting for your boyfriend. And so I confront her and I'm like, are you stalking my boyfriend? And she's like, no. And I explain why I think this way. And she's like, no, baby, you got it all wrong. I'm like, okay, explain then. And she said that she said that me, Celia, which is her other friend, and Bailey like this guy in that class. And Ethan just so happens to be in that class. Nobody wants Ethan. She said those exact words. She said, nobody wants Ethan. And I was like, interesting. And she was like, what? And I just say interesting when I either don't care or don't believe you. So I'm just going to mind my business. And after I said interesting and I didn't believe her with when she said she didn't like him and she was waiting for someone else, she was like, I was like, oh, I don't believe you. And she was like, okay, you don't have to believe me, but trust me, we were waiting for the cute one. And I was like, oh, which, by the way, y'all, she actually did like him at one point. Her and Bailey did like her, like Ethan. Which, y'all, Ethan did like Samantha at one point. Because Samantha told me that she was sending a quiz to every guy she's ever liked, and Ethan said that he liked her at one point, so that's kind of awkward. But anyway, I don't really care. They can have each other. We're all cool now. I mean, me and Ethan are friends, but me and Samantha are friends. Funny how that works out. But yeah, anyways, she was like, I was waiting for the cute one, and I'm like, that kind of hurt. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. The next part was kind of like just some stupid drama, and it was me saying, she was like, you can ask your twin, because, oh my gosh, she was like, you can ask your twin, Bailey. And I was like, aren't those the only two friends you have, Bailey and Celia? And she was like, no, I have plenty more friends. Isn't that one friend I told y'all about earlier that's in her class and Raylan your only friends? And I was like, no, would you like to see my contacts list? And she was like, no, I'm done wasting my time with you. And this is the part where me and start arguing, because she's like, you're really doing all of this over person that's not even gonna last. Y'all are literally in the 6th grade. And so I was like, what are you talking about? We're meant to be, we're gonna get married, we are unbreakable, okay? We're unbreakable. And she was like, please shut up, you sound really stupid right now, which in hindsight I did. But I was like, what are you talking about, you Slim Jim mosquito, we're forever. And she's like, what? And Slim Jim mosquito is, I don't even know what that is. I got that from my friend, which she's not a part of this story either, but I got that from her because she just kept like feeding me information. And she was like, girl, did you know what happened in 4th grade with Miss Samantha? Go ahead and insert that in there. Yeah, use that. Call her a Slim Jim mosquito. So she was like, what even is that? You sound dumb. And then I was like, Miss, who's in all 3 gifted classes? Which I'm not in all 3 gifted classes, but that must have been mistranslated. I was like, who's in all 3 gifted classes? Who's in gifted? And yeah, this was when she was like, I'm gonna need you to calm down because no one wants your 4-foot man. And that really hurt, because guys, I'm gonna put a picture of us and I'm just gonna like put an emoji over his face or something. He really was short, sorry. And I was like, yeah, you do. You Slim Jim Mosquito. You built like a box, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay, you sound dumb. Can you literally just leave me alone? And I was like, no, because you really acting like you didn't do anything. And she's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, no, this isn't over. Stop sitting so close to my man. And she's like, bye. And I'm like, I can read. And she's like, bye. And I'm like, bye. Like, Sanaa, stop being so thirsty. So some days go by and it's third quarter. Some weeks go by and it's third quarter now, and me and Ethan are finally in the same class, and Bailey and Samantha both got business and computer science, and so did Raylan, I believe. Yeah, so did Raylan. One day, like, we were walking out of Connections and Samantha was there. I guess she like waited for him, or she just walked super duper fast so she could see us walk out. But yeah, we were talking and she just like kind of like said, Ethan. And I was like, ooh. All right. And so I was like, okay, let me just mind my business. I text Samantha one day and I'm like, hey, not to start anything, but me and Ethan were kind of in the middle of an important conversation and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask him if he was gonna give me my 20 bucks. And I was like, okay, well, he's not, which I don't remember ever saying that, but that's in these messages, but that's what the messages say. Okay, well, he's not. Which, how you gonna tell her? How you gonna tell her what he gonna do? Like, baby, sit down. Okay, and she's like, what's so important anyway? Which I kind of remember like her asking that, which it's not really your business. Anyways, I just said that, oh yeah, we need to figure out how we're gonna continue this relationship if I move, which I didn't even move that year because I had gotten to cheer, so my parents ended up staying, and I didn't move until a couple months ago. Presently speaking, a couple months ago, so that's awkward. And she was like, oh. And throughout the entire year, I can't even give you guys a time frame for this, throughout the entire year, we were being so fake to each other. It's unreal. Like, I never initiated contact because I didn't like y'all. And that's period. But like, there was a point in time where there was a one time when I was in the bathroom and I was drying off my hands because I just finished washing my hands because I just finished using the bathroom. Oh, it just got so pink. I didn't know this actually like left like pink on you. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And god dang. And I don't really like the pink, but it doesn't matter. My lips were chapped anyway. They were like, hey, Sanaa, and I was like, hey. And on the inside I was like, I don't like you, you don't like me, why are we playing games? And I remember this one time, it was like, oh my gosh, we were walking back to third period and they were coming back from outside because they go outside every single day after third period, and they were like, hey, Sanaa, and I was like, hey, and Celia was like, oh my gosh, she's so fake, and okay, I don't like you. And Celia never really had anything to do with it, but they just thought it was the funniest thing and they just kept laughing, and I was like, what was that? Huh? Boom, boom, boom. It's quiet, ain't no back talk.
Back talk. It's quiet, ain't no back talk.
But yeah, and I was like, what'd they say? And she was like, Raylan was like, they said you're fake, and I was like, okay, I am fake, I don't like y'all. I don't care if a person who I don't like thinks I'm fake. You're absolutely right. But yeah, and a couple months go by, and you know, me and Ethan, we're still in the same connection, so we're getting closer, we're happy, we're lovey-dovey, blah blah blah. But me and Ethan one day were leaving lunch and we were holding hands, and I was like skipping because we were holding hands, and I was like eek, eek, eek. And he was just like, and like my classmate saw this and he was like, yeah, Sanaa, me and the guys, which is like 2 other people, noticed something with you and Ethan. And I was like, what? And he was like, no, never mind. And I was like, what? And he was like, I think that's a one-sided relationship. And I was like, and I was like, well, you're wrong. Because see, the thing about Ethan is like, when we would get on the phone, he would be a lot more talkative, but when we were in person, he was just like, I hate this girl. Why am I literally holding her hand? Like, child, if I think about all the times that Ethan probably wished that he would have broken up with me, I'd be here all day. I would literally like I don't even know, I think my brain would explode. Anyways. And I was like, you're wrong. Ethan, he's a bright personality. He's a big personality. It's just behind closed doors. And he was like, okay. Yeah. And I remember one time at lunch, my classmate, because, oh my gosh, I call racism, okay, right now, because me and Raylan always tried to sneak over at Ethan's table, and we always got caught by our art teacher. And I just found that so disrespectful, because there was this, like, Ethan would literally come over there like every Friday like it was nothing, and she just walked past the table and didn't say a thing. And then we almost got this one dude in trouble because we were sneaking over there. We went over to his table, me and Raylan, and we were just talking, you know, we were enjoying our time, we were talking to Ethan, we were having our lunch. And then the teacher comes over there, and so Raylan, she has this white Adidas jacket, and the guy that Celia, Bailey, and Samantha like also has a white jacket. And me, when she walks over here, she like sees our face, and then we put our head down and we're like, and I'm just looking at Ethan the whole time, and I'm kind of admiring him. Anyways, and he's watching the lady, and he's like, because we're about to get caught, and he says, she's coming over here, she's coming over here. And I'm like, which I can't even do anything anymore because my head is, I mean, I already put my head down. There's nothing more I can do unless I crawl under the table. But that's suspicious. That's weird.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And she came to the guy and she was like, do you sit at this table? And he was like, yes. And he was like, are you really in this class? And he was like, yes. And she was like, is he in this class, guys? Asking the classmates, like, and they were like, yes. And then she was like, and then she was like, and then she walked down to the rest of the table and she saw the white jacket and she was like, you're not supposed to be here. And so we had to leave and we went back to our table. And there was another time that Ethan was sitting at our table and he like wasn't saying anything. He was just sitting there. I don't even think he was eating. I think he was just like, it's time for me to go yet. And my classmate was like, so like, is he mute? And I was like, no, because like she really thought that he didn't talk like at all. And so that was kind of awkward. I don't even know if he talked after that. Like, I wouldn't want to talk after that. Anyways, that's not pertinent to the story either. But we had to be getting closer anyways. And fourth quarter comes around and we're all in the same connection. Every last one of us, except for Celia, because she didn't have anything to do with the story anyway. And I reached out this time and I was like, hey, can we just put it all behind us? Like, I'm sorry. And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh. Consider it known. Bye-bye. And she was like, I was like, what do you mean you don't know? And she was like, you said all that stuff and you thought I liked your boyfriend when I didn't even like him. I'll put the screenshots right here. And she's like, okay, can I ask you a question first? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, did you really mean it, or did you say it out of anger? And I was like, anger. What about you? And she said, same. And then she said about the friend thing, I don't know, I'll think about it. And I was like, okay, you shouldn't have to ask your little friend Bailey. And oh my gosh, Sanaa, you were so close. Why did you have to go and ruin everything? And she was like, again with the assumptions, just leave me alone. And I'm like, it's not assumptions, it's facts. And she's like, literally just leave me alone. You're so annoying. And in these messages, I was like, you built like Humpty Dumpty, you Slim Jim mosquito, which I definitely would not say that to anyone. I'm not even sure if I actually said that. Like I said, these messages are based off of what was said. Like, they're not perfect, so. But I definitely did insult her. And she was like, and I was like, oh, and you got roaches. And she was like, leave me alone. I don't want your man, and I most definitely do not want to talk to you. And she was like, at least I'm not dumb enough to cheat on someone. And I was like, there, my proof. You just said it. Which, by the way, I didn't cheat. That's another story for another day. Anyways, and I was like, my point proven, you like my boyfriend. And I'm like, Sanaa, give it up. No one wants your man. Man, no one wants him. No one. You're the only one. Child, like, anyways, and she was like, how? Show me where. And so I took a screenshot. Of where she said, at least I'm not dumb enough to cheat on someone like, oh, like Ethan. And she's like, I was just saying Ethan is really nice and you cheated on him with your ex. And I'm like, and I said, I did what? And I'm like, you wouldn't even know what cheating is because you've never had a boyfriend. And she's like, so you did cheat? And I was like, that wasn't cheating. And she was like, then how do you know what I'm talking about? You sound stupid right now. And I said, that's why some guy that we both know left you for some girl that we know. And I was like, leftovers, which, how was I deflecting the situation if I didn't even do anything? And she was like, first of all, he left her and came to me. You don't know what you're talking about. By the way, I didn't know what I was talking about because I was getting all this information from my friend. We were on the phone and she's like, oh yeah, but didn't blah 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 cheat on you? Didn't he leave you for blah blah blah? And I'm like, this is good. Let me get this. This is good stuff. And she said, oh, he left her and got with me. And then I said, and still went back to her because you weren't good enough. And by the way, you are good enough. And she's like, he never went back to her. And she said he never went back to her. And I was like, okay, you're just mad because he found someone 10 times prettier, which, don't compare people, okay, Sanaa? Don't compare. And what was I talking about? And she was like, okay, whatever, just get your facts straight. And at this point I was really like deflecting like the situation, or like avoiding the situation, because she was like, I broke up with him. And I was like, thank God he doesn't have to go through that anymore. And she was like, at least I didn't cheat. And I was like, of course you don't. You date someone for 2 weeks. It's hard to cheat. And she's like, yeah, okay, bye. And I'm like, oh, are you mad you can't get a boyfriend and that no one wants you? So that was kind of rude, kind of. And she was like, no, I'm just tired of your stupidity. And by the way, Ethan doesn't even want you. And I'm like, okay, because Ethan loves me, okay? Ethan loves me and he wants me. And she's like, okay. This is when Samantha reaches out to me and she's like, hey, can we put all that drama behind us and be cool? And I'm like, sure, it wasn't drama though. And it absolutely was. Sanaa, you're dumb. It absolutely was. And she's like, whatever you want to call it, can we call it quits? And I'm like, sure, I guess. Which, child, if I would have asked her that and she would have said that, I would have been like, okay, never mind then. Because I don't like when people say I guess. I guess it's a pet. I guess that's a pet peeve, whatever. That's a pet peeve of mine. When people say I guess, like it's not that hard. It's usually a yes or no answer. Anyways, and she was like, friends? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry for all that stuff I said. You just really thought I liked your boyfriend. And in my head, I'm like, you absolutely did. And in hindsight, you absolutely did. But I'm like, I just say, yeah, we made it a bigger deal than it should have been. And this is when we're friends. And that's it. And then summer rolls around and we break up. And after we made up for the second time, we were like actually friends. Like I hadn't talked about her and I haven't talked about her since because I don't talk about friends. Not anymore because we saw what happened. Well, we heard what happened. But yeah, and then me and Ethan broke up in the summer and yeah. So yeah, that's the story time. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it was juicy for you. I never know when videos are gonna be good or not because I didn't think the last one was gonna be good because it really just turned into a dang. It really just turned into a story time in itself instead of a reacting video, but y'all ate it up and left no crumbs. So I do hope that I can reach your expectations. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Love, Sanaa.